welcome.
Hello.
And today on Betty Crocker's show, just kidding, no. Today we're actually gonna do a pulled chicken quick recipe. So you got a lot of family, you've got kids, and you don't wanna cook all the individual chicken breast. This is a really fast, easy way. And we're gonna do it pretty plain in a crock pot first or our Instapot. And then we're gonna actually season and flavor it a little bit later on, because this way we know the true weight of it without any sauces or stuff being added. You can add the sauces later. This is one way to do a bulk recipe or a bulk cooking thing and still being able to know how to weigh it out and for your macros. So I'm gonna introduce my assistant today. This is my daughter, Michaela. She is going to handle not the sharp tools, but other little things. And she's gonna also learn how to do this as well. So empowering your kids and getting your kids involved is a really great step to save time in the kitchen, but also have them part of the process for you and your fitness goals and for them to learn about stuff. So first things first, always have a good sip of coffee.
Where's mine?
You're too young. Coffee made to perfection. So we're gonna grab some things. We're gonna need an Instapot, some spices to start out with as well, a knife, cutting board. I've got 4 kilograms of chicken. So first things first, we're gonna put just a little bit of water in the bottom of this. And I'm putting like 1/2 inch to 1 inch of water. You could use broth if you want. I just don't have any broth, so we're just gonna use water. And all we're gonna do now is I'm literally gonna chop all the chicken up. I could leave it as big as it is now, but we're gonna pull it apart and shred it apart. So if it's already in like little squares and chunks, it'll cook better, it'll cook more efficiently, and it will also be easier to pull apart later. So we're just gonna dive into it and chop these bags open. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the chicken in little squares here, making sure that you're not gonna slice off your fingers. Now I could leave it like this, but I like to do one more square. Then dump it into here, put it into here, turn sideways. So instead of you guys watching me cut 1,000 pieces of chicken, I'm just going to cut through this and speed through it. So we'll see you in about 2 minutes. Cutting this stuff up is gonna take you a little bit of time, whether you're doing pan frying or whatever way you're gonna do it, but it's gonna save you a lot more time later. So take the 5 minutes, the 7 minutes, whatever it is to cut this all up, like final pieces in. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna season this, we're gonna put it in our Instapot, and then we're gonna clean up everything. When you clean up as you cook, it is going to save you so much time. It's gonna be way more efficient, but on top of that, there's no mess after you're done. And literally while this is doing all its stuff, we can be multitasking. This is how I can do a full meal prep in about 47 minutes or less sometimes. So let's get to the work. Okay, let's move on to the next stage here. Okay.
Oh yay. Man,
Okay, so for stage 2, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our spices in here. Now I've got quite a bit of water, so I'm actually gonna get rid of just a little bit here. There we go. That seems good. I don't need a whole lot. It's gonna pressure cook it, and then I'm gonna open up my spice container, and I'm gonna just dump a bunch in here. That should be good enough for now. I'm gonna season stuff later on anyways, and now I'm gonna mix this all in together. All right, so now as you can see here, we're gonna mix this all in. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more. Now, if I had some like shallots or onions, I probably would toss that in too, just to give it a little bit more flavor. But I honestly did not prepare for this, so I don't have any of those things. Don't gag again though, okay? Go over there. Now that we're done that, guys, we're gonna set it up in the Instapot, and it's just super simple. There's one that literally says poultry, and we're just gonna push that button and let it do its magic. Then we're gonna check into it later on, and we'll be back. Well, welcome back. It is done now, so we're gonna go check the Instapot and see how it turned out. We're gonna pull it all apart and shred it, and then add the seasoning, spices, and flavor.
wow.
Gotta wait for this to do its thing. Ooh. It's gonna be super hot, so we're gonna pull it out of there, dump the juices down the thing. Now you can save the juices if you wanna maybe use it for rice or something like that. The lady will want to use it for some kind of rice or broth. So let's save it. We'll put it in here for now. Okay, so we still have a little bit of fluids down inside of this. So I'm gonna empty the rest of it. A little bit more. Okay. And now we're going to bring it over here. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna shred all the chicken here. So now it's in chunks. You're just gonna wanna aggressively just smash it. Now, there is a special tool that you can use to do this. I just don't have that tool, so I'm just gonna try to break everything apart. Get like a potato. You might come across some big chunks later on, but that's fine. As long as the vast majority of this, as long as it looks nice like this, where it's all kind of shredded, you can put this into wraps easier. You can make it into like little sandwiches. So the reason I have multiple things is I'm gonna weigh out what I want for my meal, my one meal or maybe 2 meals. Maybe I'll do 2 meals the same flavor. And then I'll mix in my flavor stuff after the fact. And now I know that I've got, let's call it 300 grams of chicken. And then I'm gonna add that in and say, okay, let's say I use 100 grams worth of flavoring. Well, the calories are gonna be only 60 calories for that. So that's how you can kind of figure out how much, extra calories you might be using when you add a sauce or something. Obviously, tomato-based stuff is not too high in calories. There's some really good Alfredo bases as well. Step 2, here we go. Trusty little food scale. Now, I'm gonna be doing 300 grams per my thing because I'm gonna be doing 150 grams with one of my meals when I do this. So I'll just know that this is gonna be 2 meals worth when I want it. So scale on. Now, I usually recommend people to let this cool down a little bit more. The reason why is this steam coming up. If you put this on the scale right now, let's say I do this, you're gonna see that here, take a nice close look at this, it's gonna say 68 grams. But if I leave that sitting here, it's actually gonna go down in weight because it's losing that moisture from the steam. So if I let that sit for a while, especially at the very beginning, it will lose maybe 2 to 5 grams. Now it's not a lot, obviously, but if it's fresh rice is a really big one. It drops quite a bit. So needless to say, I'm gonna weigh out the rest of this. So 68. That was only gonna be 50 calories extra. I'm just using a red tomato base. So now I've got 6 meals right there broken out. There's 150. I'm gonna weigh out, I'm just gonna split that in half, just eyeballing it, and I'm gonna know that I'm gonna get 150 grams of chicken breast in a pulled form, and that's gonna be whatever it is in my protein goals. So now I've got a whole bunch left here, and you can flavor the whole pot, whatever you want. But as you can see, fast, simple, and efficient, and you can change your flavor so you're not bored each time. I love doing these in wraps. They're fantastic in wraps. So hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned.
Bye-bye. Oh, yay.